You are listening to SonarFeed, episode 227, The Place to Be. I'm Dave Clark, and I'll be your host this evening. To my right, your left is... He doesn't have a mic. To my left, your right...
Tom Bureau, a.k.a. Bougie Hooli. And to my left...
Mark, a.k.a. SSFC Fody 13.
What's your new account?
That would be Mark Fracasso, also known as Mark Fails in Spanish.
You definitely needed 2 accounts, Mark, because you don't tweet enough.
I have 3.
Hey, it's 2018. It's our first show of 2018.
Hey, Happy New Year.
What's that like?
Well, 8 days
wonderful.
in, it's batshit crazy.
I forgot to create something to celebrate, so I'll just do the eclipse.
What was it again? Oh, wow. There it goes.
There it is.
So
Is
thanks
this
for
like
joining
an eclipse
us.
if you're in the southern hemisphere? Anyway.
No.
Oh, look, the internet locked up.
As a reminder,
Shocking.
turn the Wi-Fi off on your phones.
Yeah. Anyway, so welcome to episode 227, the first episode here at the lovely Berliner in Renton.
Downtown Renton,
Ahead
3rd
of
and
the
Main.
It's like no one's heard that it's
Yeah.
ahead of the curve.
It's not
You
even
know why
their
that? You know
motto
why
anymore.
they say that?
That there's a bend in the road and we're ahead of it.
Yeah.
Like that's actually a thing.
Yeah.
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 Do you know which
You
one
missed
they're
the
talking
real
about?
S curves, Tom.
Yeah. Tom did miss the real S curves.
Those
probably
curves
okay
over
with
there
it.
that we go through.
They used to be way more S-y.
It was like posted
More
speed limit of
S-like.
25
S-like,
when we were
S-E.
growing up.
S-like? Were they chicanes?
Back in my day.
Like if you're in like open wheel racing,
Yeah, they're kind of like that.
chicanes?
Yeah.
I knew what you meant.
Yeah.
I watched Top Gear.
I watched Top Gear. Anyway,
And
so
Grand Tour.
we got a number of things. Do you need me to move?
No,
Good.
he'll move.
All right.
Do we-
You stay
closer.
stable.
We got a number of things that we can talk about tonight. Adam is not going to actually talk to us on or off camera. He's just going to walk around and like lurk. Is pretty much what's going to happen.
Did you know it started to rain?
It is drizzling here. You going to be okay?
We're on the back porch tonight if you come on down. The fire is warm.
The fire is warm. There are blankets to be had.
Why aren't we closer to the fire
The
then?
usual suspects are here. Many, most of them. Wow. So
Good claim.
when they remake that movie, because it wasn't going to happen before, but now it is definitely going to happen. It can't be Christopher Plummer. But seriously, who's going to play Kaiser Soze?
Kaiser himself.
Will Smith coming off of a pretty blockbuster film that Dave liked. Anyway, so that's a bit of a derail. We'll come back later.
It's going to be a night of derail.
It is.
We got a lot of mini
We got
subjects.
we've got a lot of mini subjects. Who? Donald Glover? I'll take that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Fresh off
I'm
of
down with that.
Han Solo. David. No. Damn it.
So you think
The-
about that.
Lead actor from This Is Us.
So you think about that. We'll go through some actual show-related things.
He's representing himself now.
He is. His attorneys have walked away. So shout out to the Berliner for being all ready for us to go after taking a couple weeks off. They were super good at checking in with us this afternoon. They're doing a little bit of construction inside right now. And we've gotten a heads up that there may be some cool new things happening from the kitchen perspective. So we'll
Pizza?
be here from week to week to week.
Nothing
I don't know anything about pizza.
says German American food.
Like
pizza.
Yeah. Have you ever had pizza in Germany?
I know I don't have a microphone, but I just found there's a place in Tacoma called Hilltop Indian Food and Pizza, and they make amazing pizza.
Do they have a curry pizza?
Yes, they do.
If they didn't have a curry pizza, they should be shut down.
Nothing says pizza like chicken shawarma.
Chicken shawarma is an Indian food?
So
You're off by like 1,500 miles.
We're just gonna keep going. So thanks to
Can I
the
have your microphone?
thanks to the Berliner for welcoming us back for 2018. Happy New Year to everybody. We all seem to have survived, which is good. Somehow we've made it. What are we? Day 8, you said?
Yeah.
So we are.
It's
Day
only
8.
the 8th.
It is only the 8th. It was funny. There have been like those people who come up with the really witty, like, man, 2018 is totally going to be amazing. And then it's like 20 minutes later, this, and this have already happened.
It's so great knowing everything that's happening everywhere at once.
All the time.
What a great blessing the
It is
internet
amazing.
Blessing.
So why don't we just dig right in? And usually we do this as the week that was, but we've been off for a few weeks, and a number of notable things have happened in the world.
Soccer-y? Themed?
No, we'll get to that.
Oh.
So we had this Christmas thing, which some people are interested in. Mark loves Christmas because he always gets new jammies. And
I did get new jammies, actually.
Cool.
Yeah.
What's on them?
Some angry rabbit thingy. I don't know.
Nice. Adam, did you get new jammies? No. Dave, jammies?
I did.
Same. Jammies.
Flannel bottoms
Yep.
with like pine trees on them.
Wow. Cool.
Yeah.
All right.
That's very.
And you? Jammies?
That's
I
very.
did get jammies. They're
That's very
kind of
Cascadia of you.
plaid-ish and a blue shirt, but I also got
Are they flannel?
Bigfoot socks.
Are they flannel?
Oh, I got the Poodoos socks.
Nice.
Those are like super fluffy with like a synthetic wool line, and then they've got those little nubbies of rubber on them, so when you wear them on the hardwood, you don't like fall on your
Slide
ass.
and die. Yeah.
Because I would.
So we can obviously talk about things you got. What was your favorite thing that you gave someone this holiday season?
Ooh, I'll go first.
Good.
Go ahead, Dave.
No, go.
I got a bottle of wine for our newly engaged couple, Larry and Emily, and it was called, what the hell was it called?
Result of a crush.
Result of a Crush. And I thought it was very creative of me.
Dave? He's thinking. Favorite thing you gave someone for Christmas? You chewing on the air made that so much better. We've started off strong.
We're professionals. Don't do this at home.
So, I got my wife a tablet that she can draw things on, and it syncs with your computer.
Yeah.
and
She's a good drawer.
she's a really good drawer artist. And it wasn't so much that, to be honest, the gift that thing actually sucked, and we were sending it back. But just the whole experience of buying that for her and not telling her about it, because I had my parents buy it, so she didn't see the money come out. And then I ordered something else and wrapped it up. And she saw me order that because it was on Amazon. And so when she was unwrapping it, she was expecting the tea kettle, and she opened it up, and it was that thing, and she was really looking for it. So that whole process.
It's
was
all
a lot
about
of fun.
misdirection.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun. But then we opened it and started using it, and it sucked. So don't buy it.
So everything about the gift was awesome except for the gift itself.
Except for the gift itself.
I'm going to have to go with, it's actually something that my wife gave, but it's going to be like the lasting memory of my Christmas. Was Christmas Eve, we went over to our cousins, and they have a 6-year-old and a 1.5-year-old, and we were up in Woodinville, and that was when like it was snowing, and we're up there, so the kids, and it was snowing, and we gave the younger, he was like 1.5, we gave him a reversible costume where on one side he looks like a knight, so it's like this shiny silver cape and a mask that looks kind of like armor, and then you reverse it and he's the dragon, and he would put it on, and he had no clue what it was, but he put the cape on and just started and running down like the hall and back and running back and running back with the cape flowing behind him, and I'm like, that is the perfect gift for a 1.5.
Nice.
Unless I gave him drums just to piss off his dad. But yeah,
Don't
that's
ever do that.
That was a cool gift.
Yeah.
I gave someone once the Snoopy snow cone maker.
Oh.
As like your kid is 9. I don't have to live with them. Let's see what
Here you go.
happens here.
Let's get sugar
and
everywhere.
that is the loudest thing I have ever heard operating, next to like a 737.
So, you know the Hyperloop, right? Where they have the vacuum
Yeah.
thing? So back in the 80s, there was this toy concept that essentially used a vacuum and tubes, and you'd run this shuttle through the tubes, and they could go upside down and curly. It was essentially a toy Hyperloop that you hooked your vacuum up to. And when you mention a loud toy, wow. Because vacuums in the 80s were not quiet. And it had like a blower. It was, yeah. It was so great. We'd put our little G.I. Joes and they'd like fly. And then
Now, did you have the vacuum where you had to pull off the belt to connect the hose?
No, you just connect it to the hose, if I remember correctly. Jay is familiar with that toy, even, which is, or electronic football with the little.
Also exhausting.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and you'd spend 25 minutes setting up the play, and then 30 seconds later, it was done. Yeah,
Did you post that we had a show?
this guy did
Adam
twice.
did it?
Producer
You're
did.
amazing. Yeah.
Such a good producer. We leveled up.
Cool.
Duh.
I had a couple.
I'm
I had a
just
couple
here to give Tom a ride home.
I had a couple good gifts this year that I gave, but I gave some people that they're going to.
What did you get me?
Some people that are going to. I made paella in your kitchen while you weren't home,
You fucking baked it.
dude. It was cheating. Mark Bittman told me how to do it. If you want to hate on Mark Bittman, go right ahead.
By the way, it's not as if you made the paella.
No, because
We know what you would have done rather than make paella.
Yeah.
You would have walked down the street and bought paella.
No, I would have made it. I have a paella pan. I
No.
have paella rice.
I am not denying that you have the pan and the rice. I'm denying that you would take the time and the effort.
I've made it several times.
Okay. So anyway, I think my favorite gift that I got somebody was they're going to be in Paris in a month and change or so. And
Do I
they're
know
big,
him?
big soccer fans. It's not that person.
Oh.
And they're big soccer fans, and I found a really cool soccer bar, which is very easy to find in Paris. But I was there a number of years ago when Dortmund was playing Bayern for the Champions League final, and everyone's like, "Go to this bar, go to this bar, go to this bar." And then I made the mistake of landing in the morning, going and doing breakfasting things, and then trying to take a nap for 2 hours. And that 2 hours turned into like, I don't know, a lot more than 2 hours. So I missed the first 30, 40 minutes of this game. So ran over to this bar.
So you got them an alarm clock?
No.
Okay.
So I was at this bar, and the point I knew it was cool was I walked up, and it's kind of in a bend in the road in sort of this cobblestone neighborhood, which is the bulk of Paris, really. But I was, from here to that glass door over there with my pint watching the game, and they basically just took over the street, and there's no rope and stanchion or anything. It's just like, yeah, you're in Paris at this British pub. We'll just give you a pint, and you can just go hang out outside and watch, the game. So I am gonna pay their tab. They're gonna go probably spend a little time watching some EPL and things.
I'm flying to Paris.
If you
saying
wanna
I'm on that
go,
tab.
you can get on their tab. Just look into when
That'll
they're
save me
there.
a lot of money.
It will not. You will not make out on that deal. So anyway, digging into Sounders though, because very quickly we found out about a schedule. There's some random rumors going about. Every day I check Reddit to see somebody who's like, all I'm watching is every other team make moves and the Sounders aren't doing anything, and I'm upset about it. And then I just move on to the next thing because who cares? But a couple of different things, super recent. Morrison Roldan called into camp
Yes.
as of the 10th. And there's a friendly towards the end of the month
Yeah.
in
Whoop-de-doo,
in-
Basil.
Carson.
Oh, hey.
Yeah.
Home of the Los Angeles Chargers.
Yeah. Which is the best part of the tweet that I read about this earlier. It was fantastic. I was like, oh, who else plays there?
Yeah. I'm excited for Christian, and kind of hope that he doesn't play a lot, mainly because that dude played a shit ton last year.
Yeah.
It's SonarFeed, so I can say a shit ton, right?
Yes.
Okay. And then I think it's very good for Jordan because that dude didn't really play as much as we expected, and he certainly didn't play healthy.
No.
So I think it's good for him to kind of ramp up a little bit earlier. particularly if the Sounders are actually trying to do well in the CCL, we need a Jordan Morris.
Yeah. And John just mentioned he's the third most capped player called in.
Jordan?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know it was basically all under 24s and Bill Hamid.
So that's cool.
Yeah.
I mean, good for them, really. Don't really want to see him getting hurt, and it's a bummer to, miss him at other things. But at this point, like, with a
Well, the only thing they're going to miss is, like, first practice.
Right. But with no World Cup happening, it's a different approach to It's a different approach to how you feel about your players off doing things. Because if anything, they're getting just a different level or different type of training than they're getting at home, and potentially playing in some weird World Cup for teams that aren't in the World Cup friendly tournament.
Yeah, the fake tournament.
I'm actually like 75% sure that might happen.
The soccer NIT.
NIT, yeah.
Anyway, but good for those guys getting called in. This might be the first time that I peeked at Sounders Twitter and I didn't see everyone flipping their shit about players. Because, people are like, oh, yeah, I'm happy for my players, get called up, whatever, but don't injure them, whatever. And this time people are like, yeah, I'm cool with that.
My favorite thing about when Christian gets called in is dude can use the money. Because he's clearly underpaid.
For sure.
Like, it's one thing for, like, a DP to get, oh, great, you got U.S. national team money, big deal. But, Christian's still on that GA contract. He can get some cash.
Yeah.
And the more he builds, the more he gets in front of people, the more likely it is that some big brand is going to realize they can have a really useful voice behind them. Because that dude should be sponsor him.
He will accept your money.
Yeah. And he'll make you look good.
Does that work different for players in that contract situation than the MLS deals do? Where it's like the team finds it's this, but if you find it's that.
Yeah.
Because their contracts are like a whole separate thing.
Yeah, the U.S. national team contract has nothing to do with
that
their MLS contract.
And like even GA, though, is a whole separate thing. Like all those.
Yeah, so there's some weird. The weirdest thing about GA is, one, they all have to wear Adidas, except for in weird circumstances. That's also true for homegrown players. Okay. Except you'll notice Jordan Morris wears Nike. And so the reason for this is because Jordan Morris got called up to the U.S. national team before he signed his signed his homegrown deal. And so once he announced that he was leaving school, Nike's like, boom. And so they got him like moments before he signed his HEP deal. And so because of his national team experience, he is a Nike player, part of the homegrown.
Nike's all like, gotta catch them all.
You'll notice in the past, guys like Sean Coley, Ugo, he was a Nike guy.
Ask about him.
I'm asking where he's going to sign because I think here would be a decent fit. But he was a Nike guy when he was with the academy, and then he had the homegrown deal. And let's be honest, free shoes are good.
Yeah.
So
most days,
yeah, especially like those high end shoes are good for a couple 100 miles, and so a soccer player is going through several of them a year.
Yeah, quickly.
Yeah, so it's good to have those for free plus other stuff. So there's a little. As I said, we're going to be all over the place today.
We are all over the place, but
aren't
it's okay.
Normally?
So Morrison rolled on. Anything else on the international front?
U.S. looks likely to lose out on Jonathan Gonzalez, the former U.S. youth national team player, a dual citizen. It's almost certain that he's going to file.
He's in Mexico right now, isn't he?
Yeah, he made the best 11 for their last half season.
Yeah.
And he beat out a Mexican national team starter to become the starter for his club team down there. Kid's like hot. He's not Pulisic hot, but he is one of the hottest prospects eligible for the U.S. national team.
Mugatu would sign him.
Yes, I understand your joke now. So it's kind of shitty that they lost out on him, but at the same point, he has the opportunity to go to World Cup, and he wouldn't have that opportunity with the United States until a long time from now.
Later.
Till I'm
Yeah.
almost 40.
I'd feel bad for you, but I know my age.
So
that's
any
the
other
other-
players getting called up though for elsewhere?
They haven't been in.
Nothing
On the
announced
rain
yet, right?
side, Corsi got called up to
Yeah.
Scotland. Pino got called up to the U.S. women. We'll probably find out about a couple more calls, but there isn't technically an international break during preseason. So if you do, they'll just pop out for like 4 days. They'll disappear, kind of thing, for a one-off situation. But that's basically it. So those 4 current professionals in Seattle sports so far are the calls. And the youth national teams called in. They're doing a super camp for the U19s, U18, U20, U19, U18, 17, and 16. The first time ever they're bringing in all of those at one time, like 150 kids. And the Sounders had 6 guys go to that, including Trey Muse, who was on the bench for S2 a few times last year. He was with Indiana and took them to the national final. He's one of the names that you should know. Alfonso Campo is a forward down in the academy. Keep track of him. And there are a few others. But that's interesting. And then there's going to be a boys' national team camp for like 13 and 14-year-olds. And a few more names got called into that. So 10 total youth players were called in. Now I'm done, I think, with national team shit.
Okay. That's good. It's a good recap. So we have this other thing, the schedule, popped up
Yeah.
in the last few days.
You can plan your trips.
An interesting schedule.
This is the first time, and there's things that I love about the schedule, and there's things that I can't stand. And I'm with Jeremiah, I think, likes the slightly later Sunday
Yeah.
games.
No. Nobody likes late Sunday games.
I think he commented on the 5 p.m. Sunday and beyond being something that's approachable because it allows you
He's
to
dumb.
have the rest of your weekend. I don't know, man. I live in a city. I don't really care.
Jeremiah
what
doesn't
time it
work.
is. But 1 o'clock on
As
a
a writer.
Saturday for me, I don't love it. But when I do love it is when it's all the time like that. So the schedule having
It's many more Saturday games.
the
this year
schedule
than
just
last.
having some level of consistency is what I really like about the
Mm-hmm,
schedule versus previous seasons where we have 21 different days and time windows for 34 games.
No, there should be,
crazy. This is
4
a
time
lot
slots.
less.
Not.
Yeah, this is a lot less.
So that's
It's-
good. And more Saturday is good.
My major gripe with it is 5 away matches on Wednesdays.
Yeah.
Which is brutal for those of us that like to travel to away matches.
Orlando was the one I thought we were going to get on a weekend. And it's in
Yeah.
the right month.
Yeah.
In October. But Wednesday. Now, you can work around that and go do Disney.
Just
for
do your
2
whole
days.
Oh, yeah.
week.
No, I'll make it a 5-day
And that's
vacation.
fine. But that's one that, one of these years, they're going to get it, April in Orlando, and 400 people are going to want to go to that.
Yeah.
Dude, you know what would be awesome for an Orlando game is a Friday night on Univision. Because
Yeah.
Univision's got the Friday
Yeah.
night TV contract.
Yeah.
So you fly into Orlando Friday morning, go to the game, and then you
have the weekend.
The whole weekend to hit the parks.
Yeah.
And by parks,
Or
you mean...
fly in Thursday night. Yeah.
by,
so-
by parks, you mean Harry Potter World.
yeah, you got to get the double ticket, though, for that one.
Yeah.
Because of the way Universal's set up.
Yeah.
But yes.
So
Fuck SeaWorld.
it didn't really feel like that might be how it worked out this year with the days of the year and when MLS Cup was. But it's ultimately all shorter. It's less days off this year based on how the days of the week worked
Yeah,
out.
that article
So-
with the 3 key stretches.
Yeah.
What was it? June, July. That's just
Yep.
game.
There's a couple of bonkers moments in
The,
there.
that's not
the
even
lead
including-
up to the World Cup.
And that's not even including Open Cup.
The lead up to the World Cup is going to be what makes or breaks Seattle's season
Yeah.
this year. And it's weird to think that because, one, they've got the CCL, a major goal, and the early season where we know Garth tends to go slower on signing players.
Yeah.
But that's not what's going to make or break the year. It's really going to be that
The June, July.
that early summer pre-World Cup, and
I mean, it's
a lot of double game. Because if I remember correctly, it's the 3 games in 8 days, and then you've got just a normal weekend, and then 3 games in 8 days, something like that, right? Isn't it? Basically, it's 7 games in 3.5 weeks.
It's 1, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah. I don't know. Jeremiah wrote that one because I had to work.
It's real tight. Like
Yeah.
there's that. Yeah, it's the 30th, the 4th, the 7th between June and July, and it's Portland, and then at Colorado, at New England. So thankfully, they're actually traveling east, which is not the end of the world. But then it's. I mean, do they stay? Maybe they come home.
They don't come home
They don't
after
come home?
Colorado to go to New England.
No. But after New England is Atlanta. A week
How
and
many
a day
days?
later.
Oh, a week and a day?
They're going to
They'll
come home, right?
Yeah.
But like
If it was
that's
another
a pretty
midweek
good
that-
swing. But in July, we only see them twice at home.
Yeah.
Vancouver and NYCFC. But generally speaking, I thought there were some pretty cool things on the schedule. Pride weekend, it looks like that's going to be that 22nd, 23rd, 24th in June. Chicago Fire, Saturday night, 7 p.m.
Here's
That should
the one
be
to-
pretty cool.
Drag all of your friends to, like, that have ever done anything remotely soccer interesting, is the one that's on the World Cup final day. Or is that an away game?
Which day is
I
it?
just got it wrong.
What day
It's
is
an
it?
away game. Isn't that Atlanta and the Sounders?
What's the date?
I don't know. Let me look at that.
Atlanta's the 15th of July.
Yeah, it's that one.
Dave went off camera.
Never mind. That's an away game, so don't drag your friends to that.
Don't
That's a
drag
really
your friends to
expensive
that.
thing. But
Yeah.
No, drag
what
your
What
friends.
they're
Drag
doing
your
is
friends to
that's going to be
Atlanta.
on Big Fox, and then so what they're going to do is you're going to see the World Cup final, and then following it, you're going to see Atlanta versus the Sounders. So that's
11
kind of a big deal.
11 a.m. Pacific.
Yeah, I'm glad they decided to do that. I heard one of the possibilities was that was going to be 11 a.m. Pacific because it was going to be Seattle-Portland in one of the 2 venues.
Yeah.
There was a chance of that. Basically, there are like 5 teams that Fox really wants to put on national TV. And obviously, we're one of them. Atlanta's one of them. Portland's one of them. That might be about it. Yeah. So they had to figure it out. They wanted to feature, big clubs, super clubs, to quote Alexi Lawless.
I mean, it's late, so that August Portland away is late enough the day at 6:30 that we probably don't need to worry about that date changing based on that time changing based on last year. There's a May 1 o'clock in Portland. You could see that if it's hot. I don't really want to be playing at
May.
10 a.m.
It
You
can't
never
be,
know.
It
man.
can't be as bad as the June game,
No.
where it was 100
Yeah.
some odd.
You could get that in August, though.
Yeah.
But it's already a night game.
Yeah, it's already
Or
night, so it's
evening.
fine.
Yeah.
But I'm expecting them to probably play some game at like 8:45 a.m. or something this season.
Do we have any Dallas or Houston
Right.
in the summer?
Right, we
Like in
have
August?
August.
Yeah,
No, we've got.
I did a lot of show prep on the schedule. Can you
Houston.
tell?
Nope, Houston's October,
Perfect.
and no, we don't. It's
That's good.
actually pretty sane. That Colorado is going to be late, the 4th of July. The Revs, though, it'll be 7:30 in July. It should be
7:30
fine.
is fine. Yeah.
Thankfully, Atlanta will be indoors.
Yeah. One of the
Yeah.
interesting things about this schedule, it is
This one.
nearly
Maybe.
balanced within the conferences. Because
Yeah,
expansion
But-
has
Thunder.
almost got us to where it's twice within the 2 times within the conference, 1 outside of the conference. There's just 1 extra game. Obviously, it's Seattle and Portland.
yeah,
Like it's going to be LAFC and LA.
Yeah.
Like it's going to be RSL and Colorado, Houston and Dallas. There are a bunch of natural rivalries, and then teams like San Jose and Vancouver will have to play each other because nobody else wants to.
Right.
Do you think San Jose is going to be really, really upset that they got left by their perennial Bay?
I expect
The
them
Galaxy.
to beg and plead to create a rivalry, just like we've got over
You
here.
totally can see that happening.
Rivalry.
just to try and look cool.
The Cup of California, it makes sense. Like
California
Bank of
Cup,
California is already
And-
the sponsor for LAFC's.
LAFC is
Like-
not going to give a fuck about them.
No.
Yeah, but you have 20 years of history between the Quakes and the Galaxy at this point. That's not going to go away just because another team came along.
Houston should just work in. They're like, well, we had the rivalry first, technically, so we'll get in on that.
No.
And we'll make it weird.
They got El Capitan. They do the cannon there.
Yeah.
That is a pretty cool trophy.
But I would say, all in all, except for that home and home RSL thing, there wasn't much that I was like, oh, that's terrible. Like,
it's
generally
one of their better
speaking,
schedules. I'm looking forward
feels
to
pretty
the next
good.
expansion.
Yeah. Just to square it all off.
Yeah, and then they'll ruin it again. Or they'll go to 3 conferences, which makes it easier.
It'll get weird soon.
When we get
Weirder.
to like
Weirder.
Weirder. Good call. So this
26
year's
or
saying-
more teams, hopefully they go to 3 conferences.
We're going to have 27 and a half teams at the rate that the
Is-
NASL schedule is going right now. So
Is the half team Miami?
Yes.
it is.
Beckham
And they only
United.
play away games.
Beckham United
Right.
will, at some point, be more than a philosophical experiment.
So funny. But not surprised. I would say not surprised at all that Sounders opened the season with LAFC. Like 0% surprised.
And it's the 2 biggest spenders on the West Coast. It's a champion. It's an expansion team. Totally makes sense. And they're bringing. I mean, one of the benefits of having Clint Dempsey is he draws crowds on the road, and we've seen that in the past. And so when you want to open a brand new stadium in downtown LA or as close to downtown LA as you can, you bring in the best team in the West, the team with Clint Dempsey, Jordan Morris, Christian Roldan, Stephen Fry, Chad Martin. Like, the list of guys with national team experience for the United States are there. Coach Gonzalo Pineda is going to be very popular within the LAFC crowd.
Yep.
It's total, like, huge awards for them. And plus, I love playing an expansion team twice early in their existence because they won't have figured out soccer yet. If you want to play an expansion team, get in them twice within their first 6 weeks.
Yeah, do it.
Because remember what Minnesota was like?
Yeah.
I mean, even
Absolute
Atlanta
garbage.
wasn't. I mean, Atlanta's early season only looked good because of Minnesota.
Right.
Other than that, they were just an okay team. It was months later when they were awesome.
And that at LAFC too, end of April.
Yeah, that's 6 weeks into
That's
the season.
going to be super fun. Mark and I were just peeking. You can fly the Alaska flight at home that night. It's like 11 something, almost midnight.
Perfect
You can make
time.
that
Get
after
home
the game.
So you
super
could
late.
go after the game.
You
could
could
fly home.
technically smash and grab, or you could be a smart person and go for the whole weekend, go out a little after, and
Which is
then
what
go
I'll
to the
do,
airport.
yeah.
Yeah, and get
Because
home
you
at
can
2 o'clock
also
in the
you can do LA's Harry Potter Land.
That's what I did last year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, so that's pretty good. I mean,
fun.
except for the Cascadia weird thing, which I'm not.
Do you
at all
guys have an
surprised
announcement
about.
on that yet?
No, that'll come from the Cascadia Cup Council.
Oh, you're not affiliated with them at all.
I'm not. Each of the
You'll have to
primary
refer
supporter
to
groups-
our affiliate in Spain.
He is not in
also
charge of
not
that.
In charge of that. Your co-president.
So let's go over that.
Your
real quick.
co-president is
Oh,
the-
my president.
Yeah.
So the Cascadia Cup Council is what sued the league to not corporatize.
Yes.
But
It's
they're
its own
also
entity.
the 3 supporters groups that founded the Cascadia Cup
Yep.
are the ones that manage what the Cascadia Cup is, does, etc.
Not just own the trademark, own and manage the trophy.
Yeah.
Manage some of the process. Obviously, keep the statistics and things like that.
Here in Seattle, that's ECS. It's the Timbers Army, and it's the Southsiders up in
Yes.
Vancouver.
Correct.
Who are still the largest, but they've splintered off
A bit.
a little bit up
Yeah.
there. And those 3 supporters groups will work on what of the extra games is probably tossed aside between Seattle and Portland. So they're going to count 6 of the 7 games between the teams.
That's my guess.
Probably.
Yeah, based on outside conversations I've heard about. I think they're trying to figure out which game, are you going to do that with? And frankly speaking, non-ECS Dom. Like, if you want to throw darts at the league because of how they do this, it's that third game, the one later in the year, because it's rivalry week and like go as far away
if you
from
wanted to piss
Heineken
MLS off
as possible. Well, they did it again last year where they're showing Heineken stuff with the trophy, and it's like, if it's not intentional, it's just ignorant, and they know better. So anyway, we'll see what it's going to be. I mean, that's the solution.
It's
going to
be
right
one
now.
of the two at Portland games. Is going to
Correct.
not count or
It's
be
gonna be
something like the 8th tiebreaker.
A home and away for everybody. Ultimately, is what's going to work.
And
Yeah,
that was also true. Was it 06 or 07 in the USL era?
07.
A team eliminated themselves from the league like 2 days before the league started, and so that wound up with an unbalanced schedule. And it wasn't formally called the Cascadia Cup Council then. It was just like, we're the dudes doing this, so let's do it. And so it's something that's been done before, and let's not pretend that the Cascadia Cup has been balanced very often.
Yeah.
It's been 9 games for a few years now, and
Right.
that is not balanced.
right.
So, as we learned, due to, like...
Well, there have been a couple times where it's actually... There have been times where people have had 2 aways for both teams.
Yeah.
You know, when it hasn't meshed out that you play one home, you know, you get 2 homes against the other. So, yeah, balance is not the right word probably for it ultimately. But I think the expectation is that it'll be 1 game omitted from that, from the championship.
That's fine.
We'll live.
We'll live.
Get another trophy.
It's
Okay.
It's a big deal. It's Portland no matter what. So,
Right. The game that doesn't count against Portland, it's not as if the players are going to take
it
that
will not
less.
change anything.
Oh, this isn't for the Cascadia Cup? Cool, they can win. No one's going to do that.
So, I expect big things out of that this year. I think Cascadia is going to be super fun. I think travel is going to be super fun. Just getting into that, like El Salvador coming up pretty quickly. What is it? A month to the day from first practice, I think it is.
It's quick.
22nd of February.
Yeah.
And then quick turn coming back on March 1, the Thursday night, right before the season opener that Sunday. So
And that March 1 game, if you're a season ticket holder,
is
you
in
have
your
tickets
package.
already.
Yep.
Go.
I think that game, and I think that game was going to have good attendance anyway. I think the fact that because it was so tight to the schedule, I think that game being in your season ticket package, people are fiending for Sounders.
About 40,000.
People are going to go to that game.
Yeah. Plus, they'll probably be up like they should be up.
Let's hope so.
Yeah.
I mean, it's
I'd like to go to Guadalajara.
right.
I so want that. I want to tear Hugo's heart apart.
Seriously.
Yes.
He'll have no idea what to do.
He will literally sit here on the show and just be like,
I'm
and
watching.
then
I'm
combust.
watching away. I'm watching away at Guadalajara here at the Berliner with Hugo.
If Hugo didn't go.
Actually, he might go to that because
Yeah.
he's got places to stay.
Yep.
So, is that schedule talk? I know you got a show sheet. I didn't get one.
I do. No, I mean schedule.
A show sheet.
I do. Legit.
prepped.
I made
He
one.
was
So
very
know.
proud last night. He was telling me
I was
that
like,
he,
I had
he
actually
made show
started
notes.
it. I came in. I made a couple changes. We were good to go. We actually prepped. It's like we're attempting to be grown-ups. I don't know what that's like.
Wait, so why am I here?
I'm not sure.
Okay.
It was an accident.
Okay.
So schedule-wise, I mean, any other like thoughts, observations, complaints about the schedule? It kind of is what it is.
I'm
We
all right
expected
with
the
it.
congestion.
Yeah.
It's gonna I want to really look at it once we have a handle on, or look at it almost like mid CCL or post CCL once Open Cup gets in there, because the schedule is gonna look bonkers when
Yeah.
you get to the end of the season.
I feel like looking at it though, like if you want to do some fun away trips, they're spaced out.
Are you taking me with
in
you?
a way that makes it easy to do? You could do like one a month, which is my plan. So like you're not going to Atlanta and then 2 weeks later going to Orlando. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You've got time to sort of, okay, I need to actually work.
I'm imagining Mark in Five Corners and Buckhead.
No. Have you been to Atlanta?
Oh my God, yeah.
I'm just
Dude, when I lived in Orlando, that was part of my territory.
just messing with you. It's cool. You could do the home versus Columbus, away versus Toronto, pseudo Trillium Cup in a 4-day period.
I'm good.
Yeah.
I think I've gotten my Toronto fill for
For a minute.
a minute.
You're gonna
Until
pass.
next December.
Until next
We're
December.
gonna pass on that. Speaking of Toronto, though, one kind of random thing, and again, rumors are rumors. But you never know, ever. Did you see any of the stuff about? Was it an Italian club that was chasing?
Yeah, and Giovinco's agent
Giovinco?
was like, yes, going to Inter Milan would be a step down. And I'm like,
Well, as someone who
that's
likes
some dumb
Inter
bullshit,
Milan,
man.
I'm just going to tell you it's not a step down at all.
What
But-
kind of drugs is he taking? Because
Well,
damn,
he came from.
well, he would be,
Juventus,
he was at Juventus, so there's a little bit of like rivalry
they do
there.
not like each other.
no, that's true.
But mostly,
But the agent
it's
should
about
be.
he would be, a top 5 player in MLS, and he wouldn't be a top 5 player on that team.
Sure.
And so he seems content and comfortable, and there's something to be said about that. If you're content and comfortable, there's no point to being the third best forward
Right.
on a team where you're going to get like 1 start a month.
Yeah.
And
Sort of like
that's what
Freddie
would
was
happen.
in China.
No, Freddie started most of his games in China.
It's good in China.
It was in Portugal where he lost his starting
Oh, that's right. That's right.
He lost his starting role to Ibrahim Slimini, who is now with Leicester City.
Yeah.
That and then the Crew reportedly have some
The
distressed
Crew?
players right now.
Yeah, I heard
one of them is one of your favorite players.
I heard
on the
rumblings
Crew.
about this when just before the Waylon Francis pickup.
Yeah.
I was like, the Crew are totally going to do what the Sonics did and cut everybody.
Yeah.
And one of my sources was
Why
like,
wouldn't you?
well, it might not be that they're dumping everybody. It might just be that everybody just wants out.
Once out, yeah.
And they're
it-
just letting it happen or making it happen.
And it seems that that's what Ola Kamara and Justin Miram
Miram
want is,
If
Like-
you could have one of them, which would be your preferred?
well, I come fully prepared for that question because I was going to write this story, and I might still write the story, but I want Justin Miram on this team.
Same.
And because he is a winger that puts up, over his last 4 years, has averaged 8 goals and 10 assists. It's kind of nice.
Yeah.
He was more of a goal scorer last year, but he's been.
I mean, that's not quite a
usually
Chad
provider.
Marshall, but
And then you're talking. That's kind of what you would expect when they've got room to add a TAM player. So if you spend the money that you would have on a TAM player, except you get a guy in his prime who already knows the league, to challenge Victor Rodriguez and Jordan Morris for wing time, and who can play in the middle and be a creator when Clint Dempsey's out or when Clint Dempsey plays up at forward. So that'd be really neat, and then you can get a designated player at like target forward as well. But it'd just be a lot of fun to pick him up. I'm not saying that just because he speaks Arabic and he plays for the Iraqi national team. I think that his skill level and talents meet what Garth Lagerwey
Would
to
want,
add
right?
Yeah.
onto this team already. Like if you look at the
run through walls.
rumors of
Nice.
what they're looking at wingers, and if you can get one who is performing at that level right now.
I mean, this was definitely a loaded question, but I
Plus,
agree.
then he can convince Ali Adnan to come here too.
But I completely
Someday,
agree
Dave,
with you.
someday.
So what you brought up Rodriguez, so good moment to do this. Dude got exposed in MLS Cup final, or exposed himself, not in the fun way either.
Not in the Mark way.
Not in the Mark way.
Not in the Mark way.
Do you think, like, just being realistic, like if they had another winger opportunity, is that someone that takes maybe some of the minutes that Rodriguez had worked himself into, obviously putting in some really good offensive work and scoring some goals in 2017?
Yeah, I mean, one of the great things about the expansion to TAM, particularly on a team that looks to have really valuable players, Christian Roldan on his GA contract, though he's not a GA player right now. Jordan Morris on his homegrown player contract, and Nuhu, who is also a top 15 player on this team, all making essentially what are below league average money. When you've got 3 players in your high rotation like that, it means that you're going to have pricey TAM, or maybe even if they signed a youth DP, that youth DP might be a rotational guy that gets like 15 starts this year. There's going to be a lot of competition for playing time, and that's wonderful. So if Victor Rodriguez or, let's say Brad Evans comes back and they sign him to a $300,000
Please.
year,
Please come back.
having that money
You just want puppies.
on the 14th
you know he's
guy on the
gonna get
roster.
some.
Dude, if he got puppies,
Yeah, he's getting puppies. Sorry.
my ovaries would explode.
Just keep going.
The depth is going to be fun.
Cheers,
and,
Dave.
And there's already a lot of depth. Like, when we look at it, Waylon Francis, backup left back, and he's a starting quality left back in this league. Gustav Svensson, starting quality defensive mid, starting quality center back, probably on the bench. And even though the Sounders are only paying him $200,000, he's a TAM level contract because of the China situation. Victor Rodriguez probably on the bench, or Jordan Morris is on the bench, or Will Bruin's on the bench. And that's without any additions.
Mm-hmm.
Harry Shipp on the bench without any additions. Like, when you look at where the depth is already, and then you start talking about, well, maybe Harry Shipp's the 19th best guy on this roster when they add 2 or 3 significant signings, that's exciting.
Yeah. So you're saying he should change jersey numbers?
No?
Okay. Just checking. Just let it go.
Okay.
You missed it.
Elsa.
So,
And
yeah,
I still owe 5 minutes to Beth for my timeout, don't I?
You do. Mark asked, what did you say? Like, did you Elsa that?
let it
Are
go.
you
Oh, yeah,
gonna
there
Elsa
was something
that?
last night, and Beth was like, just let it go. And I go, oh, you mean Elsa it? And she told me that I needed to go sit in my room for 5 minutes in my own house to be in timeout.
You didn't.
I
Instead, you drank
That's a
port out of a
smart
bottle.
woman.
Anyway,
I learned my lesson clearly.
so 2 quick things. Let's just come back to the top a little. Any other thoughts on schedule? We'll get into CCL as we get closer to it, I think. Talk a little bit more about previewing that a little bit, especially if there's some movement on the team. But any last words on schedule?
Schedule no.
Okay.
Nope, let's move on.
Do you want to keep talking about Justin Miram?
No, I was going to talk about the other rumors that were out there because that seemed to...
There are a number.
Yeah.
Sure. Let's talk about them.
Okay. The one that's done is the Croatian Erkeg. He was supposedly linked to the Sounders, but as we put it at Sounder Heart, that was pretty tentative and questionable from the start. He instead goes to El Shabab in the UAE. That's a team that's literally called the Youth. Just going to apply my Arabic the few times that I can remember what words mean. And they got him for 1.8 million euros on a 1 million euro a year contract. So I'm really glad they didn't get him. He's had 2 good years in Croatia, where we know the Sounders have looked in the past. They almost signed El Hilal El Sudani, the Algerian, that they pursued. Erkeg is essentially a similar position talent, but doesn't have the history of success that Saudani has. And so I'm kind of glad they missed out on him. And then Ismail Diaz, who was available on a free last year, and they didn't get him despite being interested. One place says he's interested. His agent says, I talk to the Sounders all the time, and they haven't told me this.
Is he
He's the agent for Roman.
He's the Panamanian.
Like, he's the super agent from Panama.
Yeah, but no, the player is the Panamanian.
Ismail Diaz is a 20-year-old Panamanian winger.
Yeah.
Who already has Gold Cup caps and has a goal with the senior Panama national team.
Let's just sign him.
Um,
Sure. After we sign Luis.
So
those are basically the two strongest rumors that have come out lately. There's a really tentative thing from West Africa, from a dude who played in like the Nigerian second or third division for the past few years, and he's 23. So S2 fans might be able to see him at Cheney Stadium.
I do love the youth movement that we're seeing.
Well, he's 23, so he'll be old for...
No, but I'm just overall in the MLS.
What about in MLS?
No, the MLS.
Okay, just checking. Are you British?
Yeah.
Okay.
Just like I log on to MLS soccer.
Major League Soccer.com.
.com.
Has it. It's your favorite website. Rumor Willis. If you are showing Rumor Willis on the show right now, I'm going to be both impressed and mortified.
Very close until I noticed his plot.
Do you... so you're saying that Sounders won't be signing Riyad Mahrez from Leicester City?
No.
Although
I would be very excited by that.
I would be super okay with it.
Yes.
By a lot.
I don't know, how did Joe Roth's movies do?
I don't know. I'm not tracking.
Don't think he
those
released one last year, but there's like 7 coming out this year from him.
So next year. Book it.
So we should have a silly season show before the season starts. Just like one, like right before the window closes or something. Just
asinine,
dumb
crazy
shit. And then you know what's going to happen?
We're going to do that.
We'll do that, and then they'll sign Suarez, and then we won't know what to do with ourselves. And then, like, so many people will say they're not going to go to games or buy jerseys or anything.
That's fine.
And then 10,000 more people will go to games.
Did you see who signed a pro deal with a team that's in the AFC Champions League, as in Asian Federation?
Freddie Adu?
No. Diego Forlan.
I did
Still
see
playing.
that.
Really?
Yeah.
Matt Oak is so happy right now. So shout out to Matt Oak. Because right now he's like, Forlan! He is having a good time with it. I did not see that. And then there were two other kind of random things. Just before the show had started, there was news that Cubo Torres is not going to Veracruz now, which that seemed like it was going to happen. So now we may
still get the robot?
We may still get the robot down in Houston.
I'm here for
I guess good for them ish. I don't know. They seemed like they were super okay with him leaving.
They don't really understand how they're using him.
Right.
So
He's just kind of there.
I was wrong. Joe Roth did have a big budget movie in 2017.
Which one?
Triple X Return of Xander Cage. That made good money.
I have to tell you, the fact that was 2017 makes me realize that 2017 was actually the longest year of my entire life, and it's not close.
Even close.
He has a Peter Pan project that's supposed to release next year.
That should bring in some dollars.
But everything else doesn't really have a release date yet. Triple X 4. The Voyage of Dr. Dolittle.
I got nothing.
How's
Joe.
Oh, he's got a Dracula project?
Get on it. Which could or could not be bad, depending on...
Joe, you need another pair of sweats. Make another movie.
So there's that, and then the only other kind of recappy thing,
The boondoggle.
which we talked about just before we kicked the show off, was CONCACAF clarified that NYCFC actually didn't make next year's CCL yet. They were it's
This is so
the
CONCACAF.
US MLS Cup winner would have been the team to go, and because TFC won, the next team down on points would go, or at least that's what MLS believed. But in actuality,
that's what CONCACAF
that's
believed.
what CONCACAF believed. That's right.
That's what CONCACAF.com had said was true.
But the actual rule was that it was the highest aggregate point total at the end of 2017 and 2018. So it's like a Liga MX don't get relegated kind of thing in reverse.
In case you didn't think just our domestic league
total
was Mickey Mouse.
total points from both seasons.
it has to do with that
So
schedule reworking.
Yeah, so a team from last year, if they have a
another
ton of
good
points
season.
this season, could make CCL if
Look,
they don't win MLS Cup or one of the other
Like the
big
Sounders would only have to
options.
beat out
It's like
New
5
York City
teams.
by like
No,
6
it's-
points.
But there's like 4 or 5 teams, I think.
Well,
They'd have to beat NYCFC, who they were only 4 behind, I think, right?
5 behind.
5 behind. So 6 points,
but
yeah.
they were behind a few others. But
Yeah.
if you're 6 points better than New York City FC, you're probably 4 points better than the Chicago Fire.
What a great way to back into CCL if
Yeah.
we did that.
Be like,
Remember-
yeah, okay.
Remember when the Sounders won the double in 2014? 2 teams got to back in.
That's right.
Yeah. Make it weird.
Yeah.
So that was the only other league-y kind of thing. I'm excited for CCL. I think it's a ton of fun.
You know who's going to do really well?
In CCL,
Yeah.
not Santa Tecla.
The Colorado Rapids.
Yeah.
Yeah, they are not. They are
Bad draw.
probably
Bad
not
draw.
happy. So they have like TFC and CCL and Sounders on 4th of July again. So yeah, Colorado.
The 4th of July doesn't really have anything to do with that.
It doesn't, but I'm really angry about it because I
It's the-
didn't want
you
to
don't
have
want
to
that
go
game?
to
Okay.
yeah again, and it's like
No,
double
their
the price.
CCL path is horrible because if they somehow manage to beat TFC, they're in the bracket with 3 of the 4 Mexican teams.
Yeah,
Neat.
And good for TFC to be in that shit ass bracket too. 'cause
Yeah.
I like Seattle's bracket because
Our bracket is
it's
is
nice.
is
I just
good.
ordered out of order, and it was so obnoxious. Sorry, Becca.
You're out of order.
What do you mean ordered out of?
Well, I should have ordered when you ordered, so I didn't create any like multiple trip thing. Anyway, so
You must be really
Eileen
busy in there.
says fuck Colorado and double pricing. She's disappointed. So let's talk a little bit ahead. We got a little over half an hour left.
Really?
First practice coming up on Monday the 22nd.
Yeah.
It'll probably be a lovely brisk day in Starfire, and I believe the Sounders are there for like 6 hours, and then they get on a plane.
Yeah, they actually announced that they're
And leave
practicing
town.
in Chula Vista that night.
yeah. So they come in
Kinda.
and get
They're not.
physicals, and then get on a plane and leave.
They'll probably do a fake kick around because they know that's like the first time fans could see them.
Yeah.
That hasn't been formally announced yet, but write it in dark pencil.
Do you have a dark pencil?
Like heavy, like
What if I break
Not-
my lead?
not a lightly written down
It's
because
graphite.
you expect to erase it, but like you can press really hard on the paper because it's almost certainly. They've got a weird practice schedule.
How are you getting home tonight?
Seattle for a day,
Uber.
Uber.
Chula Vista
Mark Uber.
for a week, Seattle for 4 days, except 2 of them they're not practicing, and then the Phoenix or Tempe area for like 2 weeks. That's their first month.
That's kind of crazy. So don't expect to be at practice anytime.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was like, I guess I was telling Jeremiah, I'm like, the good news is we don't have to worry about how we're covering practice.
No.
Because none of them are local.
No. Is anybody going down for?
We have people that'll be in the Tucson swing. Some of our writers like to go down to Arizona
Yeah.
in the February.
Yeah.
So we will have people there.
Cool.
So that's fun.
Awesome. Love to hear that.
Yeah. It'll be the one story Mike Standish writes a year for
Yeah.
for Sounder at Heart will be what I learned in Arizona.
Can't wait to see all the things he finds in various shops and airports of.
Scary.
I bought
ass
you this.
shit. Yeah. So that's the practice schedule.
So practice,
Rumors?
preseason, nothing else too interesting. Usual
I'd love
fare
to
for
talk
preseason.
about Santa Tecla, but I talked to some of my people who follow like fellow SB Nation bloggers that typically follow Central American soccer, and they're like, I have no idea who this is. So I'm just going to make Neil Stevenson jokes the whole time.
I did see Colin Lamont tweeted something about they were looking to sign some player,
So they've been around since
and
2007.
I was like, okay.
Santa Tecla.
They solved the Tecla.
And they're wow.
Wow. Dave.
And
I told you, I've got Neil Stevenson
their
jokes.
stadium-
That's all I've got about them.
well, I'm sorry, they play in multiple stadiums.
Yeah.
Yeah, they don't even.
multiple-
That's
Primary-
the other thing about.
Their primary stadium doesn't meet CCL standards, so they will not be playing there.
It's funny because that's
The
what's on the
Sounders
schedule
bumped
still.
Into that before
Yeah.
in Honduras, was
Yeah.
it?
Oh, is that where that was?
Was it the Honduras game?
No, that was in the Nacional. They played in the National Stadium.
No, but not the most recent Honduras.
Oh, previously.
The one prior to that, they
The original Honduras.
Because they played Honduran team twice now.
Yeah.
The first time they played the Honduran team, they had to use a different stadium that was like 250 miles away.
Yeah.
So there was like nobody in the stands, essentially.
So
that could happen.
not
here
a
with
big
El Salvador.
house, 10,000 capacity
But they can't use that one.
at their traditional stadium.
Doesn't have the lighting necessary.
The other fun thing is they could still end up playing against Olympia, which is still like 3 games or 2 or 3 games into its 6-game no home fan ban. And they've been playing away at places like San Pedro Sula, which was murder capital of the world for a minute, among other things. But so they're still potentially on the docket. So there could be some fun Honduras in the near future if things go well. Don't know a ton. Had done a little Googling and whatnot, but their quote most successful period, according to the Wikipedia,
It's right now.
was 2015 and really kind of going into now. It's like this is their moment. So we'll see. But why don't we talk about that when we get a little bit closer to it? The only other thing I wanted to talk about was if we had random predictions, silly season things to talk about. We touched on a couple fun things with Justin Merrim.
Oh, I got one.
Mark's got something. Great.
The Sounders will release a new kit.
Yeah.
Book it.
True. There's that. I got a MLS. I'm in that like survey.
Oh, did you get the
thing.
survey?
I got the survey
Did you
today
light 'em
about
up?
kits. No, because it was pretty boring. It was
it? But
basically
did you
like,
have a comment thing at the
have
end?
you bought a jersey? Yes. Is the jersey this color or this color? Which color jersey do you like? And so on. Which store did you purchase the jersey in? It was pretty
Milquetoast.
banal. So, I did not editorialize at all. I just gave them my legit answers and moved on. So jersey to come. Yeah, this season seems like it's probably just the everything being condensed into like a 4-week period.
Isn't it
But,
weird,
like,
though? Like,
Schedule just showed up.
MLS Cup was a month ago.
Yeah, a month ago today.
Yesterday.
Was it the 8th?
I'm sorry, tomorrow.
Today's the 8th,
Was it the 8th or the 9th? I
Ninth.
thght it was the 8th.
It was the 9th.
9th.
Was it?
Because
I
it's
don't
10th.
know.
Oh, it was the 10th of the year
Yeah.
before.
You tell
Yeah.
me.
So tomorrow.
I was going to say last year, but
It
last year
feels
was
like 10 years ago.
Yeah.
Wow.
Wow.
I'm reflective right now. Not that reflective. This is a dark color.
Yeah, it's not very
Doesn't really
reflective.
show
I'd
up.
probably
I don't
actually hit you in a
have
crosswalk.
I need a.
Do you have anything reflective?
No, I was gonna say I need a.
Oh, I should have
rim
worn my
shot
worn my jacket.
sound effect over here.
You could have done that.
And we could have been really reflective.
You could have. Eileen just made all the comments of all time.
Eileen, calm down with the comments.
Wow.
By the way, it's Olympia with an I, not a Y.
Thanks, Lair. You really went out on a limb with that one. Tom's New Jersey. That's so grown-worthy. Like, I don't even know how to approach it.
I'm not even sure I get it.
I'm
Larry,
from
I
New
love
Jersey.
you.
Yes.
So he's like, Tom's New Jersey,
Yeah.
because I was talking about jerseys.
Larry, you just got
I'm there.
you just got put
Good
in
job,
timeout in
Tom.
my room
I
for 5
approve
minutes.
I approve of that message. I mean, Larry.
All right. So
Moving on.
So wrapping up. No.
Dave left.
So
I think he'll be
did he
back.
actually leave?
No, I think he'll be back. I'm gonna
Okay.
eat more of his chips though.
He's
Yeah.
testing out the plumbing.
Well, I had something nice. They are doing some plumbing construction here at the Berliner Pub.
It is an old building.
I mean,
Eileen, don't listen to Mark.
does anyone listen to Mark?
What? Did I say something?
No one knows. Anyway, so we've got some cool things coming up this month. I want to touch on them when Dave gets back, and I think I can see him. So we'll dig into some specifics. But
Hold music.
Yeah, did
we've
you
had
just hold, please.
Hold, please.
See, that's elevator music. Let's all go to the kitchen.
Hey, Dave, we're just talking about you.
Let's all go to the kitchen.
So Dave's back.
Let's all go to the
Um,
kitchen.
so we've got a
and
couple
grab
things.
ourselves a snack.
A couple of things. So last year was a little bit of a crazy year in SonarFeed land. We had some personnel changes, some schedule issues with trying to do things like FIFA tournament. But I think we just want to make everybody aware. We're trying to get things a little bit more on the ball and sort of work through some of the third-party challenges. And one of two things that when we had sat down to plan last year was we wanted to try and have 2-ish guests a month, 1 to 2, somewhere in that realm. And sometimes it'll be more, sometimes it'll be less, but that's kind of our target. So Dave has, been put into the...
I'm the booker.
Dave's the booker. So Dave's been, putting the proverbial pen to paper on this kind of thing and tormenting various people. Many some have, I don't think, ever been on SonarFeed.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there's some cool stuff. I'll let you espouse from here while you seem to be pensive about it. But
Well, one thing that I've always been hesitant about is announcing a guest before.
yeah, that's why I didn't say who anybody was.
Completely locked in.
But of the ones we're talking to, there are some new names.
I got no response, by the way,
Not a surprise.
even after the text.
Okay. So
Not shocked.
one of the things we're definitely going to have happen in 2018 is Jess Fishlock will come back. It won't. It'll be done by the time she walks in the door. That's going to happen. We'll have Steve Zakuani back at least once, probably twice, because he just
Enjoys
it.
it.
Here.
Yeah.
We love him.
I used to work with Matt Stretch Johnson, who you know as the radio play-by-play guy for the Sounders. He has promised me he will be coming on.
You announced a guest.
We are probably going to have that the 22nd, unless that changes. But he will be coming on next year. My first paid
next
job
year.
in sport.
That's
well,
this year.
This year. We're in within the next year. He and I worked together at KJR way back in 1999 when we were the only two soccer dorks there.
Does he know who you are?
Did you still have
I'm just
dials on the board?
We had like 8-track carts.
Carts, dude. Carts.
Oh, carts.
Yeah.
Shit.
Yeah.
Oh, we had that at KUGR.
I had to literally edit tape when I rolled on something.
Yeah.
I'm just horrified because I
Cutting.
forgot about the fact that there's KUGR. And like internally, I actually just started cringing.
So
And the fact that I was a DJ on it.
Yeah, that's also not
those are the ones
surprising
that
at
we
all.
know
Yeah.
will happen.
And there's
this
some
year.
other stuff in the works. So there have been a handful of people that were pretty excited about the potential of coming on, and schedules and things happen. Regular season is really, really hard to book people. So I think Dave has been great about being proactive pre-season, if not during the end of last season, being ahead of it. So I think we're going to try and stick to that 1+ guest a month
Reasons you should come to the Berliner.
as an aim.
And in July, I wouldn't be surprised if we get Eddie Johnson back, since he'll be out for
Hey,
Zach
yeah.
I'm 99% certain he'll be out for Zakuani and Friends.
That still stands as one of my favorite interviews.
It was super fun.
Yeah.
The-
So,
Super fun.
when you get a
Like,
U.S. national teamer.
Front to back. That
Yeah.
was really good. I can't decide what my favorite moment of that was. There are a couple.
Yeah.
But I think the
when he
movie-
apologized to
the movie question though was pretty
yes.
good.
Steve in the background.
Zach in the background. That might be the moment that always jumps out to me. That I'm like, ooh, that was rude.
So because I work with the team to do like arrange interviews and all that kind of thing, I'm gonna booking for SonarFeed is just part of that, and we get some fun. You guys know the list. If you're listening to this show, you know who we've had in here, so we'll continue with that.
Yeah, so we'll see some familiar faces that have been here once or twice, but hopefully some new ones. And I think there's a couple up front that'll be new to talk about all things Sounders and beyond. So that's one thing, and we do have ponderances now that the schedule's out. It makes it a little bit easier for us to talk about things like FIFA tournament. The Berliner wants to do it. Other groups want to do it. The people
We
here
wanna
want
do
to do it. We get asked
It's just a matter
all
of
the time. It's literally like a little bit of art and science. Just has to work itself out.
Science
and there's
doesn't
things
exist,
where
huh?
we could have done it a few different times last year, but there were certain things
It
that were
would have
really
been
important.
smaller.
Yeah,
by
it would have
a
been
lot.
smaller. We had some commitments from great people like Jordan Morris that we wanted to be able to have him come out, not just be a part of it in name. So it's really about, it's not just get as many players as you can, which is a selfish, fun way to look at it, but it's, have people who want to come out and participate be a part of it. And I think we saw that last one. People showed out in force, both kind of fans and players and participants, but the player list got a little nuts, so the bar has been set really high.
You mean when a third of the team goes up to the game?
Yeah.
Or the event?
When there's like 15 different
Kovar
stories
smiled.
About, are you sure?
Yes, he
Yeah.
did because he
Yeah.
scored.
He scored with
Chad Marshall.
on
Yeah.
Chad Marshall.
So that would make me smile too. Yeah, good call. But that is still in the works, so we have not forgotten about it. We know we missed big in 2017, but that's something that we'd love to be able to do in 2018. So that was my kind of housekeeping. That's just the end of my notes. So I don't know if you have anything else you want to talk about, Dave. Mark probably does, but none of it is going to be
Relevant?
appropriate for the air.
Mark does the after show. We shove him in the corner, and if you want to listen to him,
That would actually be really funny. 9 to 9:10, Mark just rambling incoherently in the corner at the Berliner.
let's see other housekeeping type stuff. I don't want to announce that one yet
No.
Yeah, just
No,
leave it
don't.
alone. Yeah,
because he's backed out twice already.
that's cool. Don't announce that. So other than that, I think the other stuff we want to talk about is like, is there something fun we can do with Steve for his event?
Oh yeah, we're gonna promote the crap out of
Well,
that.
yeah, finally get
Everybody
him to
does
do karaoke.
For sure.
He keeps promising and failing.
We could bring karaoke to Starfire
Oh, shit.
and do it like
you know what? Yeah, that would be good. Like over.
over the PA,
Yeah.
Yeah.
right? Zach doing like, I don't know, Owner of a Lonely Heart by Yes. That's probably not the crate that he would dig in, but it would be super fun.
He'll do something like Skepta, and nobody else will know what it is, and he'll.
But it'll be super
do it
cool.
perfect. Yeah.
He will nail it. I don't want to be like, I don't get it at all.
The last time I talked to him for my stuff with like Sounder Heart and whatnot, I chatted with him afterwards. I'm like, who should I listen to? Like, you say that you like London hip hop. What does that mean? And he's like, listen to Skepta. And so I got home and said, Alexa, play Skepta. And my wife was like, what the hell is going on here? Steve Zakawani told me to listen. She goes, okay, I understand what you're doing. Please make it stop. It was not her thing.
Please
it's kind
make
of,
it stop.
Modern American rap meets
Have
what
you ever-
has become of jungle.
Have you ever seen when Steve and Ariel on Twitter will sort of go down the
yeah.
rabbit hole talking about it, and it's hilarious because I'm reading it, and I'm just like, I have no idea what they are talking about at all.
Well, because Skepta's been to a Red Bull game.
Oh.
When he was in New York last, the Red Bulls
I
were
didn't know that it
playing,
was a
and
person. I figured it was a group.
So there is him in a Red Bulls jersey at the game, and that's why he and Ariel were talking about
Tom
it.
is now
Um,
pulling up Skepta to play in the car on the ride home.
Yeah, like
The
London's
whole way.
rap scene is essentially modern rap and jungle. Jungle being essentially a technoification of reggae.
Okay.
So it uses reggae beats and
Yeah.
timing and emphasis, but at like 210 beats a minute.
The music minor in me is very interesting.
And then there's rap as well.
Do you know I have a minor in music?
So
We do now.
it's very interesting.
You know what I've used
I
it
love
for?
the crap out of
You
it.
still like Dave Matthews?
Nothing. Oh.
Two.
Oh.
Hey. Gosh. Wow.
Let's pull that up on replay.
We separated the two of you
Mark's-
tonight on purpose.
Mark
Literally,
says, "Did you know I have a minor
I
in
just
music?"
got nuked by Adam.
What would have been
says-
even better would be if like we had that somewhere in the show notes and Adam was just sitting on it for 20 minutes.
I've been sitting on Dave Matthews shows with him for
Ever.
Ever.
Right? I had one earlier, but it was nowhere
Are you gonna tell him what he
near as
said?
good.
And Adam said, and you still like Dave Matthews?
Yeah.
Let's go back to a live game.
Anyway, Adam's in this Google Doc as anonymous hyena.
I love that even if you're logged into Google, it still gives you the
Yeah.
stupid names. Yeah.
Yeah, huh.
Yeah. So let's see what else is going on semi-related to what we're doing. Bara is still going to use the Berliner Pub as their away viewing
spot? Yep.
spot for 2018. Yeah. That was the other one I remembered.
Do you want to make early, super early, not official
I don't do predictions.
predictions about
About how quickly we can distract ourselves from what we're doing.
Mark just showed me a picture of this guy, and he has like a pretty serious handlebar mustache. And it's funny because Darren Rovell posted it, so that means he probably just took it from someone else's account.
Yep.
And
You know your Twitter experience will increase if you block Darren Rovell.
seriously, and then someone quote tweeted it with, "In the off season, you can find him bartending in Portland," which
But
is
it
pretty
gets
accurate.
Better. It gets better.
Oh my God, I can't read that anymore.
So it finishes with
We've fallen off the cliff now.
he's a hell of a bartender, and he'll tell you all about what he's beta
12
testing.
people watch this, huh?
Yeah. It's and dropping quickly. So anyway, so for one time this season, we're going to finish awkwardly on time-ish early. We're doing it.
Dude,
We're
the
gonna be
karaoke
nice.
guy's not even here yet.
I know. We're going to do this one time so we can save up these 13 minutes and use them for another night.
We have 4 people in the live crowd. Should we ask them if they have any questions?
Do you have any questions? Good, I didn't think so.
Do you have any questions about Mark's music minor?
What was your major?
Wow.
Which one?
Cooging it.
That would be social sciences, Dave.
What is that?
Also
Like it was
known
that
as,
generic?
Also known as general studies.
Music is
You majored in
harder
general
than
studies?
that.
No, it's social sciences.
Why wouldn't you just have a music major?
Because I
he
was
didn't
not
wanna
about
take-
to take music theory.
He didn't want to take the 400 level music classes.
Yeah. F that.
He's like, whoa, whoa, whoa.
No, I leave that to my little brother.
They lost you at
He's actually good.
treble clef.
I mean, wait.
Bass clef, actually.
Bass clef, yeah. You were like,
when
hell
when
no.
they handed me sheet music and bass clef, and I was like, "The fuck do you want me to do with this?"
Okay.
I eventually learned it.
Was there another question?
Oh shit, we should go to a game. Did I remind
Do
you?
you guys
of something, Dave?
remember the 13 minutes that I was giving you back?
We're
I
taking it.
rescind that comment.
By the end of the week, we're going to have a date and time for Sounder at Heart Night at the Stars. And we're not giving you a hat this year because, well, you got hats the last 2 years. And
What's Sounder at Heart?
we're just going to have to, it's going to be a Friday night in February. They did beanies recently, but they were like, hey, do you want to do like a trucker cap? And I'm like, I already have the blue trucker cap. I got that 2 years ago, and I got the orange trucker cap last year, so let's not do that. Let's just do cheaper tickets. If they had a hat like that, then yes, I would, but I already discussed with them what they were offering. So we're going to have a signed ball as a giveaway for people, and we're all going to actually be in the same section, which didn't happen last year. If you went last year, you knew that kind of went downhill. But we'll have the date for that shortly. It's going to be one of the February Friday night games, and we're going to have a Sounder at Heart Night at the Stars. I was going to arrange a meet and greet, but then I realized, wait a second, they already do a meet and greet for 100% of the fans who want to meet anybody. So I might drag Darren aside to talk to all of us just because I love Darren Sawatsky. So there's a Stars-related thing. And one of the other things that got brought up, and I'll work on it, let's see if we can get the owner of the Tacoma Rainiers up here to talk about why he's into S2. Because that new project,
S2 Tacoma.
S2 Tacoma, or whatever it's going to wind up being called as they develop.
The Tall Boys.
That's worse
Let's
than my
not
ideas.
call it that.
Tall Boys.
So I think I will make that attempt to try to get somebody at the ownership level from the Rainiers to just talk to us before they launch. Like, that would be somebody that might be good to talk to in March, because I know I won't be able to get any sounder in March. That's their first month of the year.
They're a little busy.
Yeah, getting a player during the season, it's hardest when the season's just starting because they're not into a routine, and then you can once in a while get a player in here. But yeah, I'll try to. I'll target the Rainiers.
We should get LT Gray from the Stars.
Oh, sorry, I was confused.
Not
me.
Yeah.
The other LT Gray.
No, not Will. It's a Johnson. Derek
Johnson.
LT
There we
Gray
are.
It is
Johnson,
not
one of their
Will.
better players. Most of them were. Yeah, so maybe
We're
we
here.
can-
Hello. Oh,
Brighter
Wow.
stars.
rough crowd.
You just got hated.
I almost want to get Fauski here. I know he's doing he's hosting events now rather than playing, but that dude is like a WWE character. Yeah. So
Are you going to give away an Instant Pot this season?
beer pot?
And then one that would actually be.
One of the raffle prizes is a
Oh
beer
my
pot?
gosh, that is a good idea. If someone wants to pony up an Instant Pot for the FIFA tournament, I will volunteer to make their meals in the Instant Pot. I will come to their house and make
and that's
make
less
their dinner.
interesting now.
It's the
I just want you
least
to sign it.
challenging thing I could possibly do.
One of us buy it and have you do paella for Mark in the Instant Pot?
No. Instant Pot paella is going to be for Tom. Let's just make that clear.
Fuck you. Selfishly,
You're not my type.
she's still calling herself Christmas Dr. M, but I'm going to call her Engaged Dr. M. Emily Fawcett of the merch crew for the Emerald City supporters is getting together a crew for this season, and they're doing some fun stuff. So if you check out We Are ECS on the Twitters, a couple of tweets ago is a link to some stuff that she posted, that there's a cool link to the forums. So get in if you're interested in helping out.
Isn't there something else happening February 3rd that people can hop on to?
Which thing are you talking about?
Oh, it's a certain thing to do
Use
with...
language.
I'm not a fucking English major.
Just use your words.
If you would be interested in participating in our wonderful TIFO, February 3rd would be a good time to come to Temple at 3 p.m. FYI.
I mean, you could just check it out on the forums or Sean Wheeler's Twitter account. But that also works.
Oh, okay. We have a forum?
We do. So cool things are happening on the TIFO front as well. So we're doing a little bit of Help Wanted. There's going to be some other stuff on weareecs.com tonight or tomorrow. But big things happening for 2018, which is really exciting. We only took 5 minutes back.
Cool, let's end it.
Adam, do you have anything else you'd like to say? He's like, I just deleted the show from the internet.
For all the congestive problems.
Also go to merch team.
Mucinex.
Did you just tweet? Did you just post Mucinex on the show?
We were talking about schedule relief or congestion earlier.
Congestion relief for the
Congest-
schedule?
Right.
You're fired.
I'm sorry you guys
That's like
came
a pretty
tonight.
good.
Wait, no, you're hired back.
That's a
You're hired
maxi.
back.
That's like maxi level humor, and I'm not sure if that's a good thing. But
Fact.
that is something that Maxi would say.
Dude, speaking of Maxi, I saw him retweet this, and I'm really interested in your thoughts in it. New York City FC is hiring.
A stadium planner?
No. An esports manager.
Oh, I did see that.
Yeah.
It is interesting. So you could actually play. You could play Man City B
they've already-
while being paid by Man City B.
They already hired 2 dudes to do esports.
Yeah.
They're now looking for somebody to manage their esports teams. You'd be basically the business manager for the NYCFC esports squad.
Are you gonna apply?
By the way, Emily called us a sellout.
For Mucinex?
Mucinex has not paid us anything.
But
We're very clear over who has paid us for
but
our
Mucinex,
appearances.
if you'd like to pay us, we'll take your money.
The Berliner Pub, 3rd and Main, ahead
The
of the curve.
Berliner Pub ahead of the curve.
That's the list.
All right. Anyway, let's wrap it up. So we'll be back next week. At the moment, we don't have a fun and exciting guest, but that may change depending on how the next 5 or 6 days go. And it's going to be Adam with a microphone that works.
Oh, yeah. I know who I'm targeting next week still. I just have to call my friend in New Zealand.
Are you using
to see if I
Tam?
can get it. No, actually, I think it'll be a GAM.
Okay. Okay.
Wow.
I'll just call my buddy in New Zealand and see what we can do.
Cool. Pick
How
up the
long
phone.
is he there?
Dude, how long would you be there if all you had to do was golf?
Yeah, a while.
Yes.
Oh, let's see.
4 years.
There's a major storm.
4 years.
Wow. Let's see. I can stay in Boston and get 2 feet of snow dumped on me and then
You know
ice
what?
storm. Or I can go to New Zealand and play
Time,
golf.
golf.
time's up, Adam.
Bye.
So with that, we are out. Thank you. And thanks to all of you for showing up. See you next week.
This is episode 227, The Place to Be.